Hi, I'm Kate Hibbert, coming to you from the Seekonk Public Library with another edition of My Review Monday. It's our new series of video book talks where we'll talk about a specific book we've read and give you some feedback on it, I guess. Today I'm doing The Fire by Night by Teresa Messineo. I hope that cover is showing okay. This is World War II fiction. As you listen to me through some of these book talks, you'll probably learn that I do like to read a lot about World War II. This is the story of Joe and Kay. They are two Army nurses. They meet when they're going through training, they become friends, and through the course of the war, they are sent to various theaters. Joe ends up in France as the Germans are approaching. The field hospital she works at is being evacuated. As the Germans continue to approach, she is left behind with one doctor and 6 patients, and then they realize the convoy is not coming back for them. They may be behind enemy lines, and she is responsible for the care of these 6 patients. That's 1945, first chapter. Second chapter, we are introduced to Kay. It's 1942. She's in the tunnel at Corregidor, and the Japanese have invaded. So Kay is sent to Santo Tomas internment camp. She becomes a prisoner of the Japanese. Santo Tomas is in the outside Manila in the Philippines, and she spends the rest of the war being a prisoner. I loved this book. If you're a fan of The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna or All the Light You Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, this may be a book for you. It's pretty much just the story of these two women, Joe and Kay. Each chapter alternates between them. You learn what happened to them leading up to the war. You learn what happens to them during the war, and then it does follow them after the war. So it's a story, first and foremost, I think, of love, endurance, resilience, and also female friendship, and what these women go through, what they understand about each other, and can they come through the war with their souls intact, basically. Having read a lot of World War II nonfiction, I find this a really well-researched book. It was totally believable. You really cared about the characters, and I really couldn't wait to learn what was going to happen to each of them. I highly recommend it, and if you want to look a little more into the history of Army nurses, I would also recommend this book, We Band of Angels by Elizabeth Norman. It is nonfiction. It does tell the story of Army nurses who were in fact taken prisoner of war by the Japanese and interned in Santo Tomas internment camp. Santo Tomas was a real place. It was a university in the Philippines, and during the war, when the Japanese invaded the Philippines, Santo Tomas became a prisoner of war camp. So Army nurses were sent there. It's thrilling nonfiction, and there is a local component in that one of the Army nurses was Helen Cassie, they called her Cassiani, who was from Bridgewater, and she was a prisoner of war of the Japanese during World War II. So I highly recommend The Fire by Night by Teresa Messineo, and as a follow-up, We Band of Angels by Elizabeth Norman. Thanks for listening. Bye.